Hi everyone. Today we've got with us Mihai, who's
Hey guys.
working at Mercedes. He's coming from Romania. He's been here for 3 years. He's a senior software engineer and he's pretty
Yeah.
young. So it's very exciting to hear how he started. And can you tell them a bit about yourself?
Sure. So, hey guys, my name is Mihai. Um, I'm a Romanian guy,
Yeah.
and I've been in the Bay Area or Silicon Valley for the last 3 years. Been working at Mercedes for the last almost 3 years now. And yeah, I'm a senior software engineer in the speech and digital assistance team. What we do there is pretty much we work with voice assistants on different platforms, both outside of the car and inside of the car. So we do have our own assistant, which was launched in our new MBUX platform called Hey Mercedes. So you can just invoke it saying, Hey Mercedes, set the temperature to 68 degrees, or Hey Mercedes, how's the weather in Seattle, and so on. But we're also available on platforms such as Google Assistant or Alexa. So you, from the comfort of your couch, you can just say, okay, Google, ask Mercedes me to lock my car if you're not really sure if you locked it. Or you can say, okay, Google, ask Mercedes me where did I park my car in case you forgot it
Yeah, that
next
happens a
morning.
lot of
Yeah, that's true. In big cities, actually, we see a lot of usage of that. So,
Yeah, I saw recently a friend visited the office and he parked his car somewhere, and Google Maps showed him the location on the map where he parked his car, and I thought, well, that's very useful
yeah.
if it can figure out where you parked your car. Yeah, cool. You started. When did you start to code? What do you exactly do at Mercedes, and how did you get there?
Sure. So, as I said, I'm a software engineer at Mercedes. Our job in the team is to kind of work on the backend systems, all these things. So we work on, okay, totally forgot now what I wanted to say.
Say it again. It's fine.
So, as a software engineer, we work on the backend systems for all of our systems. Of course, we do have a distributed team, so we have teams in Germany, in Stuttgart and Berlin, and then one team here that works on this platform. And yeah, so I started coding when I was a kid, actually, in middle school. I was doing some pseudocode, very simple algorithms, but yeah, that kind of seemed interesting. So then in high school, I went to a more profile, which kind of did more of coding. And then I started with C. Started participating at competitions. Went to the Olympics. That's how you translate them from Romanian.
Olympiads.
Yeah, something like that.
International Olympiad in informatics.
Right.
I think it's
And then you go
but
to
yeah.
different stages, and then I know that on the 11th grade I managed to reach nationals, which is really cool. Um, but then at the same time, coding was nice, but then I kind of wanted to pursue something which was in between, like engineering, more like, since I was into music, I was kind of doing a lot of side projects, building my own stuff. I was kind of doing my own guitar effect pedals, which
Which are
which are the things which sit between your guitar and the amplifier, and then kind of modify the sound of your guitar.
yeah, I never knew what they were when I saw the artist performing on the stage. I was like,
Yeah, they're changing their sound, right? But
Yeah.
it's kind of magical. But no, there is definitely a box in between that sits on the floor on the stage. Then they just kind of press it, and then the sound changes. So I was doing that, and that was like, okay, this is really cool. I want to pursue something like this. So I went to the University of Manchester to do electronics. Um, Over there, we did a lot of embedded coding, PCB design, and hardware things. But then over there, I kind of discovered semiconductors. So then the goal was like, okay, I'm gonna move to Silicon Valley to do semiconductors.
Why is
Um,
semiconductors and Silicon Valley a thing?
so this is kind of the place where it all started. When
Yeah.
when you look at history, this is where Intel uh, and other companies kind of started here. They kicked this revolution of doing more in silicon,
Mm-hmm.
um, packing more transistors
Okay.
per density to increase the density of the transistors in the processor and so on. So pretty much historically, this is why this place started, used to be called, or is called, Silicon Valley. Now it's more software, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot
But
of
it's
software.
still pretty cool. So I came here after doing my bachelor and master's degree in Manchester. And then, even though I was looking for a job in semiconductors, I soonly discovered this whole new world of uh, backend engineering, cloud, data-driven engineering, machine learning, and AI. So, kind of changed my options, and then went to pursue something more
We're
of
like
a
semiconductors and oops.
yeah, pretty much like semiconductors. Like, oh, this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, yeah, so I started doing software engineering. Of course, a lot of the skills that you learn in college were easily transferred. Definitely recommend Udacity and Coursera for this.
Mhm.
Really cool places to kind of refresh your skills and to learn new skills. And yeah, that's pretty much why I'm at Mercedes right now.
Okay. You said something interesting thing in the beginning. You said that you started with pseudocode when you were a kid.
Right.
But kids usually get distracted very easily. So
Hmm.
was it as part of the school program, or why did you
Yeah.
choose? Okay.
Yeah, so it was part like 1 hour a week. We used to do
Mhm.
this.
And what
But
did you
it
like
was-
about it?
Oh man. Okay, I don't know. It's a long time ago now. I don't know. It was the way I think they described it. It was pretty cool. Like
Okay.
you're writing some commands for this machine to understand, so that it can do things that you can like relate to.
Okay, and you could imagine what the machine would do if you wrote that code, even though you couldn't
Yeah,
run the
you
code?
you kind of had to run it in your mind and then
Yeah.
print the results.
Oh, so you were the computer and the programmer.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool.
So you would learn some commands like which were of course like nothing that you can relate to right now, just like print something on the screen or on the chalkboard at that time.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that was pretty cool.
cool. Yeah, we never did those kinds of stuff in middle school. I started in high school.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess now they do it more interactively, and you can actually
yeah.
run the code on a
Yeah,
computer.
definitely. And then
Uh,
now like with playgrounds on iPads and definitely with so many platforms like WellCode, right?
Yeah.
You can easily learn how to code and like test the code that you're writing, get feedback immediately. Especially if you're choosing something like Python or Java, it will just tell you exactly where you made a mistake.
Or
So
JavaScript, which runs in a browser, so it's like you pretty much don't need anything apart from a browser.
yeah, exactly.
How did you get to work at Mercedes, though?
So I moved here with kind of the scope of finding a job in semiconductors. But then I kind of experienced Silicon Valley and the trends around here with machine learning, AI, big data, cloud development, so on. And I was like, that looks very interesting. So then I kind of like, okay, maybe I should switch career paths and then do something else. Definitely had to learn a lot. So I had to learn new skills like backend development and kind of transfer all my knowledge from hardware and embedded C into JavaScript and other things. Definitely Python was a big thing, especially when it comes to machine learning and big data. So that was cool. Went to Udacity and Coursera, many courses there which you can learn and kind of will polish your skills and you can learn new things very fast. So that definitely helped. But I still enjoyed college, still enjoyed doing all that hardware. And then when I came here, Mercedes was looking for someone with some experience in hardware, but also a lot of experience in software.
Wait, did you just come here?
Sorry?
Did you just board the plane and come here, or did you come here with a purpose?
I came here to look for a job,
Okay.
pretty much. So that was the goal. Finish high school in Romania, go to the UK to do college and masters, and then move here to work. I mean, I don't like actually using the term work because I like to think that I'm just living my life and doing things I love. Of course, sometimes it feels like work when it's like, oh no, I have to do that thing again. Okay, I'll do it. But most of the time it's actually really enjoyable. I mean, you go to the office, you're surrounded by people with same interests. You play ping pong in your spare time at the
Mm-hmm.
office. You go for coffee runs on your one wheel, and it's pretty cool. So and then of course you code and you design things and you experience new technologies. So that's definitely cool.
Do you use your one wheel around the office?
So we used to, but then our business operations team forbid it because apparently it's a hazard to run motorized vehicles inside the office. But we sneak it in over the weekend or after hours when nobody's there. We do some.
If somebody's watching, he's not.
Yeah, I'm not doing
No,
that.
no,
I
no,
don't know.
definitely not.
Yeah, we do some race. We have like a racing circuit inside the office. No, I'm kidding. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so you work in IoT, so do you have a smart home? Do you actually use the products you're building?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the secrets. Always use the product that you're building because otherwise you're never gonna know what's
Mhm.
wrong with it. Sometimes you might not see the wrong parts about it because you're used to it and you use it every day and you know it even before it existed. But definitely I notice a lot of people that work on products, they're not
Mhm.
using it on a day-to-day basis. So what we say in our team is that at least you should be using the product that you're working on. So for that, we had to kind of, replace all of our light bulbs, door locks, and so on with connected things, and which now they actually transform our home and made it connected and smart. It's not really smart. It's more like internet controlled house.
Did
But
you take a whole day to change all the light bulbs and change all the devices
no,
and set
actually,
them
they're
up,
not
or
that
like?
many. So
Okay.
it's definitely it was pretty fast process. Actually, we spend more time pairing them with the hub
Mhm.
than than actually installing them in the sockets. Um,
Was it
but
expensive to do?
yeah, so I guess when we started this 3 years ago, so my
Mhm.
first project was in smart homes at Mercedes. Now it's in voice assistants, but at the beginning, 3 years ago, it was pretty expensive. Not something that you normally did. LEDs just became cheap, so to replace a light bulb with an LED light bulb became affordable. Connected light bulbs were still pretty expensive.
Okay.
Nowadays, though, you can buy, I don't know, a connected light bulb for $10 to $15. They're LED, so they will never,
So
burn
at least
out.
you can
And
control the lights in your house, which is still pretty cool.
yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. And then now you can pair them your Google Assistant or Alexa, and then you can just tell your assistant to do it for you.
Okay, so did you start building those kind of devices or working with those kind of devices since you were young, or did you just come here and the company assigned you those projects that were somehow
Mm,
related to what you wanted to do, and so you started?
so I was into electronics as a kid, and as growing up, I had this neighbor who was repairing all these things. So I was kind of going to him and like snooping around, seeing what he's doing, which was really cool. I mean, he used to take like something that was broken and fixed it. Um,
What kind of things?
like amplifiers, speaker
Okay.
systems, many things, like electrical things.
Did he do TVs?
Yeah, he did TVs and like laptops and
Hmm.
I don't know, many things. So that was pretty cool. I was like just hanging out with him and then just seeing what he did. From time to time, he also did his own things, which were really interesting because then you saw like normally when you get a device, like you just open it up and then it's like, I don't know, just, many components there, green board. I'm like, okay, I mean, it could be,
Yeah.
I don't know, something, but you don't really understand it. And then sometimes you build it from scratch, which is really cool because then I got to experience like this whole process from begin till end product. And then that kind of started something in me to kind of build products and have people actually use them. So it's one of the things that drives me as an engineer. So I like to kind of build things and see people use them, and then iterate on it, make it better.
So what did you build?
Um, so I think in high school I used to build like these guitar effect pedals, which I mentioned before.
Okay.
So that was kind of one of the first products. Then I I worked at music festivals, and I had my own music festival.
You had your own music festival.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? How
Yeah.
did you do it?
I don't know. It was I think just a bunch of friends that we were playing in a band, and then
Mhm.
we're like, oh, let's move it from inside of the bar to outside of the bar, and then
Call
someone
it a festival.
and then call it a festival. Exactly. It was all done. The first edition was done in I think in a week, and then that spun across 6 years. So
Oh wow.
my last edition was in 2015 of Plopstock Festival, and then I kind of moved here.
Okay. So that's the festival you started.
Yeah, and then in parallel, I used to work as a volunteer at Electric Castle in Romania,
Hmm.
which was a really cool experience.
Which is
Got to
still a
meet-
music festival.
Still a music festival, still going, still rocking, still probably one of the best, if not the best, in Romania as a music festival. Okay, I'm biased, so it's the best for
Yeah.
me. But yeah, it's definitely, I met a lot of cool people there that kind of share a lot of the mindset that you see here in Silicon Valley. So that was really nice because I got to experience that type of mindset when I was at home and in Manchester at university. And then I
Okay.
moved here and it felt very natural to me.
So you think that helped you in your career to interact with people better, or like?
For sure, yeah. I mean, I guess all these experiences to kind of build your own thing, like have a startup, you might say it. You will learn so many more things which you don't learn in school,
Mhm.
because you're gonna be hit by like realities, which when you're writing your function and your script to do a specific thing, then it's very, very, you're in this protected environment, and you can go on Stack Overflow, and then there's like probably 1,000 answers to the same question that you have.
Mhm.
But then in real life scenarios, like you're gonna get hit by something like you run out of funding. Oh, okay, what do I
Yeah.
do now? It's like, can
People don't use it, but why? It's so cool.
Yeah, exactly, like, come on, I invited this amazing band and I spent so much money on it, and then nobody's buying tickets. Why?
Yeah.
And then you find that, okay, because you're not selling to where you're supposed to be selling, or it's too expensive, or like, I don't know, someone is working your team which is spreading false rumors, and many, many things which
Did that actually happen?
no, it's something similar happened, but
Okay. Do you want to share it?
what? It doesn't matter anyway.
Okay.
It's like there's so many experiences that you're gonna have. Also, your kids, right? So I mean, I was in high school, then went to college. People don't really take you very seriously at that age, especially when you're like, yeah, so I'm 20 years old and I want, I don't know, this amount of money in funding to do this.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, good luck. And I'm like, no, you fund me. And I'm like, oh no, you're too young, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
and so
haven't
on.
done anything before, or nothing big, or nothing that
Yeah,
made money.
Exactly. I heard a lot of those answers before. But it's something that you have to go through, and then you're gonna come here, and then you're gonna join a team, and then here you're gonna have different challenges. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I grew a lot since I'm here in many different aspects, especially coding wise. I learned a lot following courses like Udacity, building products for Mercedes, like with smart homes, voice assistants. They're really, really cool technologies, kind of like early adopter phase. So
Yeah, cool. He said in a you said in a you said in a video that I saw of you on YouTube that you would like to have a chip or an implant
oh yeah,
that
yeah.
knows your health parameters.
Totally in for implants. So yeah, our team used to be called IoT and wearables. So I went all in on wearables. I have a smartwatch. I used to have a ring that measures my heart rate. And I mean, wearables are really cool. I mean, you can do so many things with them, right? And then we don't have that augmented goggles and so on, right? I mean,
Mhm.
Google Glass was a thing, but didn't really catch up. You kind of look kind of geeky wearing it.
Yeah, you do.
But I mean, in the future, like this will change and it will become so much better. But then that will be near future, right? But then implants is next level. It's like the disadvantage of having so many wearables is that you actually having to wear a lot of stuff, and then you have to charge them, and then you forget the charger one time, and then or you just don't have, you forgot to charge them one night, and then that's it. Then next day you're out of your wearable. But then implants, I see that like that will change the game, because now you just implant one thing, and then it will collect health data on you, and then you can use it to kind of track your health status. You can go to a doctor can load, or you can do pre-screening with an AI computer, so you don't actually need a doctor at that point.
But you still need power somehow to the implant, or not?
Yeah, maybe there will be a different power source. I don't know. Your body could be
You
a power
charge yourself.
source.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? That could be. Nanoelectronics don't really consume much power, so.
Hmm. Cool. So you told us what you like about Mercedes, and
Okay.
it's very cool. But what would you change? What would you do differently?
About Mercedes.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. That's a very tricky question. I don't know. No, I mean, definitely Mercedes is a very cool company. I'm enjoying my time there, and learning a lot. And the one thing which I like, especially more than other brands, is that like Mercedes cares about the whole picture, right? So they look at it from end to end, and it's not just about exterior design, which is really cool, by the way. But you also have other companies which have really cool designs. So there, it's pretty much a matter of taste. But then you see also at Mercedes that like they care about the interior experience. So when you open the door, how does that feel? When you close the door, how does that feel? And when you seat and you get in the car and you sit on it in the driver's place, and you touch the steering wheel, do all the buttons are in the right place? Does the interaction with the seat make sense? And how do you see outside? And like when you drive it at 200 kilometers per hour, does it still make sense? Which is actually a very
Do
cool
they
test
test?
scenario
Yeah.
for us. We were doing the smart homes, and then we went to Germany, and it was like, oh, look, there's that really cool AMG GTR outside. I'm wondering if it still works. Our product still works at 200 kilometers per hour on the autobahn. Can we test it? And they said, yeah, of course. And then
Oh.
we went and we drove the car really fast. Of course, it worked. I mean, but that was a really nice
But you really
experience.
wanted to test it.
Yeah,
at
we really
200
wanted to.
kilometers.
We really wanted to drive that car really fast, which was insane, by the way. So if you get a chance to drive an AMG GT, go for it. Don't waste that. But yeah, your question was what I don't like about
Uh-huh.
Mercedes. I think I'm not sure if it's like Mercedes in particular. I don't like about automotive industry
Mhm.
is that we're very slow in terms of like how we output. Of course, we're changing, so but we still have this old mindset where like a car is developed in 4 years, and then you sell it for 7, and then now recently we introduced software updates to the in-car or the infotainment system,
Mhm.
and
Do they have Easter eggs like Tesla?
um yeah, not really, no.
Not yet.
um
It's like
it's-
geeky.
it's not, it's yeah, we see it more like driver distraction.
Driver
And,
distraction.
yeah, it's definitely, we don't also agree with some things that Tesla does.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if a lot of thought was put into that when they did it, but it's cool, right? So not sure if you should still be able to do it while driving at 120 miles per hour, especially drawing. But I guess it's okay. Um,
If you're stuck in traffic, that works.
yeah, if you're stuck in traffic, that works. Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely gonna change, right? I mean, with the introduction of voice assistants now, like you see that touch is no longer the first point of interaction; it's voice.
Mhm.
You see a lot of people now actually on their phones interacting with voice, especially in the Chinese market. Now everyone is like using their voice to control things.
Mhm.
And in WeChat, they don't really type anymore. They just record their voice, send it over, and then
Really?
yeah.
I didn't know. Okay.
So it's
I'm missing out on a cool app. I was just talking to some friends recently who use WeChat, and I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
not installing another chat app.
yeah. I'm not sure if
I'm not sure if it's available here.
yeah, that would be actually a good thing. So I mean, we have a lot of test devices from across all markets, and then our team is pretty much very diverse. So we have a bit of everything.
Mhm.
We speak around 12 languages in our team
Cool.
because we have to kind of
How many
localize.
people?
We are 16 right now.
16 and you speak 12 languages. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, me, it's like,
Someone, yeah, knows many
Romanian
things.
English, and then you have German, Spanish, and then you have like Chinese, French.
Yeah, so it's a very diverse team. Yeah, that's cool. Do you have Do you have like subordinates? Do you have a team yourself?
No,
Or
I mean,
did
we
you have
don't really
interns?
see it. Yeah, I have interns. That's really cool. I am all in for interns. If you guys want an internship, by the way, send me an email.
Yeah,
But
leave his LinkedIn profile in the
yeah,
description.
send me an email, of course, in the message if you want to connect. Or if you're in the Bay Area and want to grab a coffee,
Yeah,
or
right.
want to go for a one-wheel ride, I'm game for that.
I'll definitely try it after the interview if you'd let me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
We have a joke, so we want to have as many people join the one-wheel community as possible,
Mhm.
and we set a quota for the team.
A quota.
Yeah, so we need at least one Mercedes employee to get a one wheel and to join our group.
Okay.
And now the quota for August was met, and now we're looking at September.
Cool. Yeah, that's a very no.
I mean, once you're
forgot the
gonna
word.
try
Yeah.
it, you're gonna totally get it. It's like, it's that one thing that you would try it. It's like, okay,
It's pretty small. It looks cool. I mean, I might go for it, but I'm not sure.
practical.
Yeah.
It's practical. It's not about looking cool. It's also about being practical.
Okay. So we talked about all sorts of things not related to coding, but some people on the channel actually are in the beginning and want to start coding. Maybe they don't know
Right.
what to start with. Maybe they're not into a school that does coding classes. So what would you recommend for them?
Yeah, so I mean, you don't have to be in a school that does coding to do coding. There are many courses out there, like Udacity, like Coursera, like Udemy, like WellCode, right? A lot of books out there, really cool. But I mean, I still like the interactive parts. If you have an iPad, you have playgrounds, and yeah, I mean, coding is a lot easier these days. I think it should be like, in your second nature. Like if you can read, you should also be able to code. Because these days, like, you do a lot of coding, and it's, very useful to know how to do this.
Is it like it's probably like having an assistant that does your work for you, even though you do a job that's not related to coding? It's like you could put your computer to do it, maybe? Is it
Yeah,
like
yeah. Or you do more work. I mean, I don't really see it as an
Yeah.
assistant because I see more like our voice assistants as assistants. Definitely coding is like you achieve something which normally will take you a lot of time.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I mean, these days with the abstraction level increasing and coding it's not really coding, it's more like, defining things, implementing, and you are able to read it even if you're not a coder, right? Or know all these things. So definitely you should start coding as soon as possible.
And just go on a platform, do some coding tutorial.
Yeah, go for Python. That's like easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I sense some judgment here when it comes to Python. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you start with Python and it's very very cool, it's very easy, but then you want to do something else, and I think the transition might be a bit harder because you don't care about types, you don't care about much in Python, right? You just write code and it
Yeah,
does your
but
work.
isn't
and
that the perfect way to learn how to code? Do you like want to throw someone and say, okay, handle memory and
No.
care about, creating dynamically
Yeah, I mean you don't
a
learn
new
the-
element in your list and so on. I mean, sometimes I get a lot of people get thrown off because of that. But if you start something simple and then you like, oh, this is really cool, you can do so many more things. And then when you say, okay, I want to run this on an embedded platform, and they're like, oh, okay, that's not possible. And they're
Yeah.
like, okay, what I need C. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's learn C. And then you're like, oh, but this is so much harder.
Yeah, it's so much harder.
But at least you know
It's
what
like-
you're able to do, and then you're more motivated, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you find that C or C++ is difficult for you, then you can definitely find Python more approachable. Yeah. I
Definitely.
started with C++, so I would be biased. I feel like
I also started
that's
with C,
yeah.
but
You also started with C. I mean, it's just the way we do it in Romania, and for me it
the
worked.
Romanian
But
way.
yeah, the Romanian way,
Yeah.
tested and improved. Not
Yeah.
really. Well.
Tested. I think they still learn Pascal in certain schools, which is pretty sad, but
Yeah, certain schools. But at least
C
we
at
have coding classes, right?
yeah, yeah, more than other places in this world.
Yes,
So.
exactly, which is very cool. I think what a lot of people face in the beginning is
Mhm.
a lack of people who inspires them or guides them. Maybe someone who's there personally for them, in contrast to finding a person who inspires you, who you read about, but not really get to interact with.
Right, right. I mean, that's definitely a challenge, which I had while I was growing up. I still have right now. Constantly, your needs will change. So, and the people that inspire you will also change according to your age, according to
Hmm.
the stage in your career that you will be in. And it's not an easy task. So see it as something that you will iterate through, and then of course you will change. Don't get hung up on someone because it's the coolest person that you ever know. You're probably gonna find someone cooler if you start looking. Um, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's definitely, of course, you begin with family.
Hmm.
Then you kind of grow out, and then you're like, oh, okay. I had this very cool neighbor who was doing a lot of crazy things there, building his own stuff, repairing. And I was like, okay, I want to do that. And then you had like your music teacher, your math teacher. In
Hmm.
college, you had your mentor, which is assigned to you. He was okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, and
But
then,
then, how do you go about later on?
I mean, later on in your career, it's becoming challenging because now, I mean, first you have to do something, and then kind of like you want a mentor in that area,
Hmm.
or someone you can like relate to. So definitely I mean, I have like people which I look up to, who I don't personally know, right? So there are people who are doing a lot of great things. Like you have people like Steve Jobs who were very good at storytelling, selling things.
Hmm.
You had people who revolutionized and kickstarted like a revolution, right? You have Elon Musk who with SpaceX he pretty much did many great things, and not just with SpaceX but many other things.
Yes.
And then you have Jeff Bezos and Satya
Hmm.
Nadella, and you have Warren Buffett, and like there's so many people that did many great things. But then it's kind of hard to say that they're your mentor, or like it's just people that you can read about, and people
Hmm.
that like you can learn from like by reading, but that's pretty much it. I think you have to look for someone close by, someone you personally know, someone you can relate to, and then you know try for him to be your mentor and to learn from and kind of talk to him, and then see what his opinion is on the stuff that you're dealing with.
Yeah, so look around you to people who inspire you.
Yeah.
And I remember you mentioned earlier about having those wow moments in your
Definitely.
life.
Yeah. So I mean, the next thing would be like, okay, how do you decide what I do, and how do I decide what type of people I want around me?
Hmm.
Um, I mean, a very good example is, and something who can everyone can correlate to is going at a concert, and you go there and then you experience something, and most of the times it's cool. It's a concert. You're there, you have a beer, you feel nice, but that's it, right? And then you go home. But then other times you go to a concert and you really like are just mesmerized by what you see, what you feel, how this whole thing kind of is brought together. And then you have when you go there and you have all those goosebumps when you hear your favorite song. So I call it I call it a wow moment, right?
Yes.
So look for the same thing in around you. So not just for music, but for other stuff. And then when you find that, then do that, and then maybe that's something that you should pursue in your career.
And find people who do that.
Right, right, yeah. You're gonna go for a talk, for a TEDx talk, or you're gonna see that that lecturer in your school who's gonna have this impact on you, and then maybe try to talk to him, see what their passions are.
Yeah, go out there, explore.
Definitely explore. Do other things, not just code. I mean, you should code, but also do
Yeah.
other things.
Cool.
Like One Wheel.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming here today.
You're welcome.
And for all the insights. And
Thanks
if
for
people
the
want to,
invite.
yeah, you're welcome. If people want to hear more about your story, maybe you can comment down below, and we will take care of the comment section. Reply.
Yeah. If you have any questions, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can shoot me an email. And if you're looking for an internship at Mercedes, then you know who to call.
Yeah, I have an opportunity right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this, and share it with your friends, especially if you have friends who are interested in learning how to code but maybe don't have an idea yet. Definitely share it with them. This way you'll help us reach more people and provide you with better content. So until next time, bye bye.
See you guys.